Hello everybody and welcome to Talladega Super Speedway. The introduction was a few months old, so just decided to use that one. We are here at Talladega Super Speedway. Picture will be coming up shortly, just having to revise a few issues with the overlay, but everything should be a-okay and running in just a few moments. There are just under 4 minutes left in qualifying. And right now, times are coming in. Josh Wong currently on the pole. And once again, main picture coming up in a few moments' time. But a few stats while we wait. Of course, the leader of the all-time laps led, I believe, is, let's look at the wrong section, actually. All-time laps led. Mark Redford with 69 laps. He has qualified in 10th. And last year's, essentially last year and last season's champion, Nigel Dejean, currently 27th, so he's probably going to be taking the easy way through this race. And of course, this is the first of 9 races as well for this series, for the season as well. Everything looks to be a-okay, so we will get that picture up right now for you so you can see the remaining time. And well, it's going to be a very, very exciting race. And of course, before we get to the grid, just want to let everybody know that this race is actually sponsored for MTR. This race is brought to you by Draftmaster. And I will say, I have played this. It was a while ago, but I've definitely played this before. And it is actually, it's actually a very, very interesting game. And we can get some more information on that in just a couple moments. Of course, Draftmaster brings the excitement of oval racing, pack racing, and definitely drafting to mobile and an easy to pick up retro styled package. Seriously, it actually looks pretty retro, and it's like pixelated style even, so I really like the design of it as well. It's been a while since I played it, like I've said, I think 2 years even, but I do know that it's definitely very, very fun. Of course, you can switch lanes at the right time to slingshot to the front or block somebody from passing. There's a range of circuits from short track ovals to super speedways and everything in between. You can also get your iRacing paint into the game with, somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, I believe that's a €5 donation, or it's £5 donation. Somebody please get me, somebody please correct me on that, because I'm over here in the US. But anyways, yeah, €5 or £5 donation to MTR, and Draftmaster will incorporate your paint into the next build. And you can PM Reese Saunders for details on how to donate. You can get Draftmaster from Google Play today or the iOS store, where it for the iOS store it is coming soon. 100% free to play. And you can search Draftmasters in-store and get racing. There are advertisements, but that is, of course, to cover the cost of the app, so it can remain free to play. So with that out of the way, your grid will be coming up in a few moments' time. And of course, we'll see if we can get a couple screenshots, or at least a screenshot of Draftmaster during one of the cautions. We'll even get the that's the wrong window. We'll see if we can get I believe the creator is actually Josh Wong as well, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll see if we can get them in here to talk about that as well. I may have misread that when I was looking at the Google Play Store information. But yeah, I'm working on getting a screenshot now, but we will get to the grid as well in the meantime. So 50 laps here at Talladega as the qualifying session ends. And we'll see if we can get a screenshot here. And of course, one thing, as always, I'm so excited, I always forget the most basic thing. I, of course, am always Gary Weaver bringing you pretty much everything today, commentary and production. So everyone's lining up right now, and we will get the grid up on screen right now. First place, Josh Wong. That's the incorrect. Actually, no, there wasn't any lap pounds, I don't believe. It's interesting, but that is correct as far as I can tell. Jake Forster should be on the outside of the second row here. Josh Wong on the pole in number 41. Nope, he is number 27. That is on my end for some reason. There we go. Now I got the right section. Nigel De Jong is starting. Nope, that's also incorrect. What is with the names today? Numbers, car numbers, car numbers. Everything is incorrect on my timing screen, so I'm going by the grid here. But nonetheless, Nigel De Jong in the number 41, last year's champion of Season 4, starts on the inside lane. Ian Cornish, who is outside, in the number 81. 27 of Josh Wong will be starting in third. Jake Forster to his outside in the 44. So the 44 starts in fourth. Rounding out the top 5 will be Stuart Pomfrey. John Jarrett in the 59 starts in sixth place. Linus Brostrom will be starting in 7th, although he may not make it to the grid. But in the meantime, though, Andy Oakley in the 53 starts on the outside. You can see the number 91 and the number 8. That is Reese Saunders and Stephen Parks, respectively. Rounding out your top 10. Matthew Dalton starts in the 11th place position with Mark Redford to his outside. Dave Walsh starts in the lucky number 13 position, and Michael Jones was just about 0.02 tenths off, or sorry, 0.02 hundredths off of the lap time to get that 666 into the unlucky number 13 position. So it would have been great if Jones would have gotten that. Mark Murphy starts in the 58 machine in the 15th place position. Sound should be coming up in a few moments. And meanwhile, the 16th place position is occupied by Ian Bassi. Sergio Cabral, I believe I pronounced that correctly, will be starting 17th. He is new to this league, as from what I've noticed. Jim Carr starts 18th. Simon Marshall 19th. Doug Kinraid starts 20th. 22nd, 21st and 22nd are Lane O'Connor and Stuart Barnett. Patrick Orr and Carl Jacqueline start 23rd and 24th. 25th, 26th is Ashley Blakehood and Mark Nadeau. And then Ben Summers starts in 27th. 28th, Chris Bourne. 29th, Doug Pickering. 30th is Carl Hayes. Ken Bracey and Adam Wright, 31st and 32nd. Rounding out your 33 car field, a truck field rather, is going to be Mike S. Robertson. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. 33 trucks here. And, well, this is going to be a very, very interesting start. I believe the most trucks that have started a race here even in this league is actually about, I'm going to double check on this, but I did look it over, and I believe it was 35, so we'll see what that is. But nonetheless, though, 41 of Nigel De Jong is going to be starting strong here on the inside lane for this 50-lap race. Most number of drivers was 35. In 2017 Season 1, we were just two trucks shy of matching that. Pace car pulls off. Nigel De Jong has the field in his hands. Green flag is down. We are underway for 50 laps, and already people are going to be spreading out sideways, whatever, side by side, I should say. And it's going to be very, very wild first couple of laps. So everybody's already very quickly spread out, and already the front 4 drivers They're going to be battling side by side, shoving each other down the back straightaway. Ian Cornish in the 81 on the top side. He is getting help from that 44 of Jake Forster. They moved to positions 1 and 2 right away. So much for that first lap being led by that 41 of Dijon. It's already a little bit of a pack separating some of these drivers right now. Or 2 packs, rather. A little bit of a gap is what I should say. Dijon moves to the top side in front of the 71 of Linus Broström. We're going to be using this camera angle a very large amount because, well, we'll definitely need this here at Super Speedway. So very calm first couple of laps here for the time being. Nothing really major going on, but we already have a little bit of side-by-side action here, and that's all the way back to position at number, I believe, position number 13. No, even farther, position 14. Michael Jones is just laying back with his first pack, and then 15th on back will have their own single file line. Just trying to get through whatever they can. A little bit of sort of side-by-side in that second pack, but for now, these front 14 runners are going to be battling for just for a while. It's going to be back and forth here, but that 41 of Cornish, he wants to, that 41 of Dijon rather, wants to get back up to the front as soon as possible, but in the meantime, 41 of Dijon is 81 of Cornish, rather. It's going to be holding that lead for the time being, and hello, Josh Wong. My goodness. It's a little bit sideways off the corner, but he did manage to save it, so that is a good thing. We're going to be side by side for a very, very long while. And of course, we do have information on who led what lap. Honestly, not sure if that's at the line as of now, but if it is, well, that was Ian Cornish the last time around, with 3 laps led so far. And oh wow, okay, I think that 44 almost tried to make it 3 wide in the middle unintentionally. That was Jake Forster, but he did manage to keep it going and stay just behind. I'm gonna take some on board. I'm gonna take a ride on board here with the 27 of Josh Wong. Yep, he is the sponsor of DraftMaster. You can see the logo just on the hood there, so we'll be talking with him during a caution when we can, or at least after the race, just again to talk about it. Again, we also will be getting a screenshot of that during the next caution, or at least in the lower corner of your screen as soon as possible. In the meantime, though, it's pretty much just side-by-side all over. Hello, Reese Saunders. We're on board with him, and he's all the way on the top side. Not 3 wide from what I can tell, but at 91. Yep, nope, 3 wide between Stephen Parks and the 831 of Redford ever so slightly. And this is not going to end well if they keep it 3 wide. The 8 backs off. He'll stay on the low side, so that's a 7 behind him. Dave Walsh, caution is going to be coming out if these two don't save it. That's the 31 and the 8. They both managed to save it, but they'll definitely. Stephen Parks gets the worst of that, however. That 31 and Mark Redford also falling back as well. That was a very close call, and somehow they both managed to keep going. We will get a replay up in a few moments' time here. So replay going to be coming up here, and if a caution comes out, we'll get to that incident as well. But we all saw it from this camera angle. 31 probably got here. Oh man, I don't think he knew he was clear, or maybe he just got the call from the spotter too late that there was somebody inside right when they made contact. But either way, a small incident sends them back to 31st and 32nd respectively. Meanwhile, everybody else is on a massive scramble here to try and get to the lead, especially that 41 of Cornish. still getting help from the 71 of Brostrom as well, and pretty much has been ever since the start of this race. A bit of a gap for that 53 of Andy Oakley, but he'll stay on the top side. That was going to move to the inside there on the back straightaway. Brostrom gets shoved out of line, and a couple drivers are going to be joining him. That's going to be a bit of a mess. No, Brostrom, outside line just lost all of its momentum. That's the 91 of Reese Saunders and the 15 of Carl Jacquelet on the top side, the very top side, rather. Ooh, hang on there. John Jarrett was a little bit loose, a little bit tail happy through the tri-oval there. In a way, this is calm, but at the same time, it really isn't. So, I'm going to be here for a while. It's very impressive to see all these drivers, though, just hanging on side by side. Mark Nadeau just left pit road. Not sure what exactly for. Not seeing any damage, though. But these leaders will be coming up on him very, very quickly. So, in terms of super speedways for here, it is definitely not going to end well. So long as he can stay on the very top side. Or at least the very inside on the apron, then he will be A-okay. DeJong and Brostrom, meanwhile, have finally gotten that outside line momentum back up to the top side, and at least enough to match the leaders, but nothing to really get by. Side by side every single time, and oh, hello. I just saw Michael Jones go up to the top side for a little bit, but meanwhile the 82 tried to side draft the 7 just in front of the left-hand side of the screen and turns 1 and 2. Almost made contact, but luckily they did not. Meanwhile, Ian Cornish has been pretty much in control of the lead. Every time at the start-finish line, 3 wide in the back, though. Dave Walsh from the 7, Ashley Blake Hood in the 82. The very inside is the 23 of Ken Bracey. A lot of these drivers are new to the league, but definitely pretty skilled looking at their official stats. So the 7 of Dave Walsh, he'll be falling back on the top side if he doesn't have anybody to help him. Michael Jones looks up top and decides to stay in the middle instead. So the 7 will be falling back. He's going to have to try and find somewhere to get in if the 15 moves low, and he will be able to get to the middle lane, but look at this. Massive scramble of cars, 3 wide in the middle. Oh boy, someone's going to be boxed in here. Somehow they settled it out. I don't know if that was somebody trying to get some air to the engine, or if they were actually making it 3-1. They just got shuffled back in, but that was pretty close. I will say that. This is typical super speedway racing. Just 3 wide, side by side, and somehow 3 trucks on the top side can't get around 2 trucks on the inside. But of course, they are taking the longer way around in a sense as well. 3 wide once again in the back. Lap truck just ahead. That's a small issue there. Hello. I believe that's Simon Marshall, and it is. He's 2 laps down, so he's late to joining, or just had some issues on the start. But we do have all 33 drivers on the racetrack. A few just a couple laps down. Only 2 drivers are now on the lead lap. That's Simon Marshall, and then the 57 of Mark Nadeau, who went to pit road. So still side by side, still even for the most part, and nothing really major is going on as of now, but right now it's definitely going to be interesting as someone jumps up to the top side to 7 of Dave Walsh, and 28 as well. That's Matthew Dalton. And the third truck on the top side, Dalton moves back to the inside. Somebody right behind that number 7, that's a 91 of Reese Saunders. So Saunders in the 91, and then 79 of Chris Bourne, also going to be joining on the top side. And they may all migrate to the inside, or the middle lane rather. Somebody's blinking, so everyone's going to be making some type of a move now to the very top side. That's going to leave the middle lane, those 3 drivers. That's going to leave them, in a way, out to dry, but at the same time, not really. It's just going to be a lot of air resistance between pretty much everybody. That middle lane has not lost its momentum, but Matthew Dalton finally commits to the top side, along with the 82 of Ashley Blake Hood and the 23 of Ken Bracey. And Dave Walsh in the 7 takes advantage of that inside lane, or at least the massive space available to him. Same with Saunders right behind him. And this is, oh no, there's going to be a lap car right in front. This is not going to end well. That's Mark Nadeau. No, that's Stephen Parks. This is not going to end well. It's going to be 4 wide for a few moments. Somehow everybody makes it through. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You make it through, though. Yeah, okay, so the 8 made it through. Got past somehow very cleanly. And somehow we were about 4 wide for a few moments. And somehow everyone is still going. Oh, hello. I could be changing a couple of things, but we're not going to be changing from the action as of now at the caution. A few things will be adjusted to accommodate for any stutters. So that just happened for me as well, so we will definitely get that fixed. Just not right now, because definitely don't want to be changing away from anything that could be happening. And right there's the 59 got in front of the 36. Pretty close there for a few moments. Dave Walsh has been on the top side and the middle side. I don't think I've ever seen him on the far inside lane. Remember when I said we were using this camera a lot? This is what I meant. Because there's just everybody everywhere. This is pretty much the best angle that we have for pretty much anything, along with onboard cameras as well. But, oh, somebody's a little bit wiggly there. Trying to stay in behind the back bumper. And that's the 53, Andy Oakley. Trying to stay on the back bumper of the 71 of Brostrom as best as possible. And looks like we are slowly falling down to 2 wide action here. Looking at the back bumper from Ian Cornish. Ooh, a little bit of a hairy situation there. Oh, that's going to be the 7 of Dave Walsh, I believe. And that is a massive problem. Not sure what had happened, but I just saw him falling back and almost got rear-ended by somebody. Must have gotten loose at the very least. He's definitely going to be falling back off the pace for the time being. He does have a few trucks in front of him, though, and a few behind him just to assist him in the drafting. Might change a few things right now, even. If we do miss anything, we will definitely get a replay up as quickly as we can, so. Say up until lap 20. Lap 20, definitely. It's going to be a little bit of a break. Just so that everything could be fixed. You won't really miss anything, per se, since a replay will be coming up as quickly as possible afterwards. But for the time being, At Jeg's machine, I believe that was the 6 of Sergio Cabral. A little bit loose on the inside lane and all over the back bumper, trying to shake the draft, I think. I'm not sure, but it's not really going to help him out. Just rather stay with the pack and just lay out the back bumper everybody else, which is exactly what it's doing even. So that's pretty much what everyone is doing, and that's definitely the best move. And that explains why some of these drivers like Brostrom, who's been pushing that 41, same with the 44, pushing the 81, they've been laying back and just occasionally peeking out from behind the tailgate of these trucks. Oh, this is not going to end well. Huge crash from the... Oh, no, that's going to be the 41 Dijon. Huge crash. And that was just from a small accident in front. Many drivers are involved. The 7 of Dave Walsh also involved. Oh, man. All from a missed time as well. And, well, my goodness. Oh, a lot of these drivers will not be happy about that. Replay coming up in a few moments as the drivers from the far back, they should be slowing down. They looked like they're going about 100 through there, but oh man, a little bit of contact as well from lap cars in front. Not sure what happened, but we'll see. It was with the 20 of Ian Bassey and the 31 of Mark Redford. Replay up on your screen right now. 20 moves up to the top side, 31 follows. And 20 got too close. Same with the 31 who got too close. And just, oh man. That has to be at least, what, 20 cars? At the very least 15, and that's just being generous. Oh man, huge accident here. And, well, a lot of drivers will not be happy about this. And 3 of which are in pit road, 4, 5. There's many head to pit road for the time being. So the drivers that pit, we'll see how many have pitted, how many have stayed out. But we'll take this opportunity to at least lose the picture for the time being, since the caution is out. And readjust a few things. Pretty much the entire field is heading into pit road anyways, but of that accident, 14th through 27th is in pit road, so that's at least 13 cars. Apologies for the loss of picture, but of course everyone is in pit road right now, so not really losing anything for the time being. Just trying to accommodate for any visual errors. So everything should be 100% right now. As Ian Cornish is first in pit road, first off pit road. Josh Wong off second, Jake Forrester third, Stuart Pomfrey fourth, Michael Jones off pit road in fifth. So as far as, apologies for the silence, just double checking everything, looking everything over. Lost the picture again, just temporarily. So we'll get a reference photo of DraftKings, or DraftMaster, I should say, DraftMaster, up and in just a few moments. And we'll see if we can talk with that driver as well. As you can see, Josh Wong has that logo on the front of his Chevy Silverado. So we'll talk with him and have him explain what Draftmaster is about. And of course, as mentioned earlier, a reference photo of Draftmaster is right here. So that definitely goes for the retro style of the game. Caution lights are still on, so we definitely have time. That's what it looks like in a nutshell. And I believe that's actually a reference photo for the iOS version. So we'll see if we can talk with Josh Wong here in a few moments, pretty much right now even, as we do have time. So stand by for that in just a few moments. Josh Wong, do you have us?
Hello.
Hey Josh, well, you have the Draftmaster logo on the front of your hood, which is also sponsoring the race. So could you explain what that is for any of the viewers at home?
Yeah, certainly can. Thank you. So I created Draftmaster, the game, about 3 years ago. It's been out on the App Store for Android phones. It's about 150,000 downloads now, which is awesome. And we're just doing some promotion with it. So we want to introduce some opportunities for some drivers in this league to pay a donation to the league to help fund the broadcast and things, and in return they'll be able to be in the game with their...
That's definitely a good deal. I can say that I have played it a couple of years ago, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played it, but it is really fun last time I played it, so it's definitely very enjoyable.
Oh, brilliant. It's great to hear that you played it just by chance.
Yeah, no, and I didn't even know you created it, so I'm just like, oh, Josh created this. Well, that's pretty interesting. So, of course, you are in second right now, so anything to look out for the end of this race?
I think as long as people are patient, it's all just going to come down to that final kind of 7 or 8 laps where you'll start to see the main people starting to make their move around the outside. Hopefully there won't be too many wrecks before we get there. Yeah, I'm sure the last couple of laps is going to be good fun.
Well, we are going to go ahead and let you go, and good luck on the second half of this race.
Brilliant, thank you.
So that was Josh Wong, creator of Draftmaster, and yeah, definitely played it by chance. And it's pretty interesting to see that somebody from iRacing is actually putting the iRacing paint scheme into a retro style game. So that's very clever idea. So the caution lights are off. Everyone's going to be double file, and we're going to be going green for the second half of this race. So in a way, it's like a stage caution, but worse. And a few other drivers, Nigel De Jong most notably, is still in pit road for 7 minutes, 47 seconds, and counting, unfortunately. Same with Patrick Orr. He's also still in his pit stall. Doug Kinraid, also in his pit stall. Same with Reese Saunders, also involved in that wreck. Taking up at the very least, 13 drivers just from timing and scoring. Everything should be, well, maybe not. Also picture just to make sure everything is running properly, because our streaming it says otherwise, so going to just double check on that before we go back green. Field moving through turns 3 and 4 right now, so luckily still just enough time to get through with adjusting these settings, which even I'm not sure what that's all about. But for now, pace car pulls off, and of course it was always the sky as per usual. Everything should be a-okay. And we'll be going back green. 44 of Jake Forster already on the back bumper. The 81 of Cornish. 36 of Pomfrey already on the back bumper. The number 27 of Josh Wong. Through the trial into the restart zone. Green flag is back out, and we are once again underway for the near second half of this race. And already a great start by Josh Wong. Oh, crash in the back, though. Huge accident. Not huge accident, but a two-car accident. That's Mark Nadeau. No, that's Simon Marshall, even. And that's somebody else. Is that... It's not Nigel De Jong for sure. Simon Marshall. Not sure who that second driver is, though. We'll see who that is. Ken Bracey. That's who it is. So caution already. More than likely a miscommunication on what happened there. I'll see what happened in the back. Because even I'm not sure what happened there, but that's why we do have replays in the first place. So we'll see what happened. Ken Bracey, the 23, in the yellow numbered black and white truck. He holds up a little bit. The 7 is on his back bumper. That could be why. And yeah, just miscommunication. Way too eager is that number 7. And then 26 of Simon Marshall is also involved, unfortunately. He keeps off the wall, but unfortunately, though, the worst of that is definitely going to be at number 23. He's pretty much out for the rest of the race, unfortunately. Right on board and also listen with his engine, see how that went with his acceleration. I think the 7 was just a bit too eager. You see the 26 get tagged, unfortunately, right there as well. I think the 7 was just too eager to continue the race, so unfortunately he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. But that's he's already been involved in an accident, I believe, as well before then, so unfortunately he's pretty much out. So it's 23 of Ken Bracey. 7 has decided to put it behind the wall himself, and so he's had enough bad luck for it today as is. Of course, you are still watching, you're actually just watching the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Thanks everyone for tuning in as well. Halfway and 24 laps ago, so we're pretty much under halfway this time by. The lights go off is my question. The lights are on the pace car for the time being, and the lights will stay on, so we still have enough time to interact here. Of course, still looking for, actually looking for some broadcast sponsors as well. So if you know anyone who's interested in getting their name or their company out there, refer them over to me in this case, and definitely get at least a, if possible, get a 30-second advertisement, at least a video of their product, within reason, of course, along with a description, their logo, and their website as well. In this case, for DraftMaster, they do have a website, but they're sponsoring the race itself, not the broadcast. But either way, though, it is nice to see sponsors get out there putting their product or their names out there as well. So, of course, how to refer them over to me, you may be wondering. Well, they can contact me at facebook.com/rlbn.GaryWeaver. So, pretty much be looking like this. Once this is onto the bar, there we go. That's what it would look like at the very top of the screen. That's what you can. That's where you can refer anyone that you know that wants to get their name or product out there. Pricing, of course, can be discussed for, and of course the length of how long they want their product to be advertised. So that's where they can be referred over to if they want to get their name out there. Of course, product is within reason, say at the limits of just PG in general. But outside of that, though, 23 laps to go, 22 laps to go when we get to the green. And we'll be wrapping up this 50-lap race in a few moments' time. Next race next week will be over at Darlington Raceway for 75 laps. And of course, that's not the only series that it's going to be on this channel as well, because on Mondays, or let's double check the schedule just to make sure. As lights on the pace car remain on, actually. That's quite interesting. Not sure what's going on. I guess it's just that short of an incident that the, yeah, that could be why, because it came out pretty much right at the start-finish line. Anyways, just after the My Turn Racing Truck Series next week, the day after, Monday next week, pretty much, on January 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, it will be the Red Light Scrambler Series, and we're picking them up for their 15-race season. And I believe at some point there's also going to be a... No, that actually will not be a mix of 2 races on one day, so that was on me for thinking that. That's why I just want to double check. But if you are interested in that, go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications for anything broadcast related. And in the meantime, though, does anyone think this caution is going to end in a little bit? Because this is going to be quite interesting. As well as for this year, something that I'm starting to pick up is more interaction. So, of course, anyone have any onboard cameras they want to see for this upcoming restart, I want to type a car number or name right now. You have the choice of pretty much anybody in the field. That's pretty much it. At the top of the screen, you can see their car number or their name. So go ahead and type their number or name into the chat. We will take an onboard lap with them. We'll see how they do on the restart as well. Give anybody some TV time in the back, so long as they're on the raceway. Till then as well, predict who you want to win as well, because Ian Cornish has taken over the lead pretty much ever since this race had started. Unfortunately, the 41 Nigel De Jong is pretty much out for the time being. He's been out for over 17 minutes as of right now. So that's very unfortunate for him, though. Defending champion, and unfortunately out in the first race just from a little bit of a small miscommunication or misplacement. 21 laps to go in the meantime before we go back green. Or as when we go back green, I should say. 33 drivers started this race, and we have 20... I'm looking just to make sure we have 24 of them on the racetrack. Basically, 9 drivers, essentially, within those 2 cautions have been taken out. It's very, very unfortunate as well, since, of course, this is Talladega, but... Oh, this is Talladega. That's pretty much it. You have to expect some type of a huge wreck at Talladega. We've seen that, unfortunately, happen, and, well... Look at look at the result of that. I mean, we still have a very massive amount of drivers on this raceway. At least 20, just this one pack alone. Just over 20. '91 of Saunders is really, really sideways. I don't know. Take a look at his end car, see how much he's turned the wheel that much. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. I think Reese is just trying to limp that thing home as best as possible. But yeah, that truck is way too damaged to be running pretty much anywhere just from that backstreet camera. That's really sideways. Not dirt track sideways, but sideways enough to be noticeable, unfortunately. 71 to Vlad Brostrom. He was running up in the top 5 for the time being. Unfortunately, he was also involved in the first big one that we've had. First caution, I should say, which resulted in a big one. Look at this, 44, Jake Forrester is not waiting until the green to be on top of that back bumper of the tailgate of Ian Cornish. Green flag coming out in a few moments. We are back underway, 21 laps to go. Ian Cornish getting all the revs out of his car that he can. And quickly, a lot of drivers are single file. We're going to try to lay back to 5th, but that's going to change eventually as the 2 car of Doug Pickering is in a new paint scheme this week. I think he's in a new paint scheme every week. Stuart Pomfrey jumps up to the top side. Same with Carl Hayes. And that familiar green and white neon truck. He gets left out to dry, though, unfortunately. That's not even Carl Hayes, I don't think. No, that is. That's just the font of his car number that threw me off for a second. 27 of Josh Wong, a little bit sideways. He's getting all the help that he can, though, from that 36 of Stuart Pomfrey and that purple machine. John Jarrett moves up to 5th on the inside lane, just in front of that neon green. Well, Stuart Pomfrey jumps up to the top side. That's not going to work out too well. Now Pomfrey's stuck in the middle, 3 wide down the back straightaway. With absolutely no help, though, it's going to be that 36 of Pomfrey. He could have gotten in between that 59 and the 77 there for a few moments, but unfortunately he just didn't have the time. That 77 was closing that gap very quickly. Pretty sure he didn't want to cut. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to cut that 77 off. That's Ben Summers as well. Pomfrey's got room on the inside, but he's going to be forcing those 3 drivers now, to use that very top lane. 96 of Carl Hayes, 2 of Doug Pickering. And that's 83 of Adam Wright, who's just decided to lay back and just let this happen. 2 by 3. Is that 3 by 2? Either way. Small issue there for a few moments. Talladega is very demanding somehow, but either way, though. Still 3 wide for the time being. Now it's just 2 by 3, I believe, is how that goes. Not sure. Look at this. Everyone's all just single file for the most part. No one's really making any moves yet. No one's going to be too eager because they know it's the second half of the race, but they do know that once the quicker the laps count down, the more that they'll want to get to the front. And as quickly as it started, 2 laps later, it is pretty much gone. And right now, Ian Cornish has that 44 of Forrester all over his back bumper, just pushing him and keeping him in that lead. Somebody's rapidly falling off the pace there. Let's see who that is. Not sure if that's Andy Oakley or not. One's falling off the pace massively, and I believe went to pit road even. Is that Andy Oakley? No, that's Saunders. He's pulling it off. Yeah, Saunders is going to pull it off. Yeah, I did say his steering was a bit too sideways. He tried to run it for as long as he could. To pull it behind the wall over there. Forrester looks to the outside. Nope, that's just to get even throws me. I do that sometimes. That just throws me off too. As a broadcaster, where somebody moves it to the top side, you think they're going to make a move for the lead. Nope, they're just getting air into that engine. Look at this. Stuart Pomfrey on the top side. I believe the first time he's been in the top 5 all day. getting as much help as he can from Matthew Dalton in the 28. Just behind them, it's going to be the 82, and there goes Carl Haas to the very top side, more than likely unintentionally. There's a space open there, and he took it. Went back into that space that was open for him. Information on Ian Cornish, he's led 29 laps for today's race. Pretty much, again, ever since the race had started. 29 of 50 laps. I think the only time where he didn't lead laps was in pit road as well during the cautions. And the entire inside lane of Cornish, Forrester, and Wong, they've almost broken away off turn number 4 there, but they couldn't. So that side lane just got the momentum straight back on the top side. Again, that middle lane, even though it doesn't seem like much, that middle lane is just a little bit more banking, and it's a slower way around in a sense. Right on board with the number 82 in the gyro camera as they head down into turns 3 and 4. You can see how much banking there is there as well. And there is just a little bit about pretty much all around the racetrack. Although most visibly it is in, of course, the turns 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Hello. That's way too close for my liking. I'm just up here commentating, no less. So, of course, it is Talladega, 14 laps to go. Maybe taking a little bit of a break, but then again, it's Talladega, so anything can happen. So that explains the 0 breaks that we've taken. Top side, nope, stays back in the middle, just clearing out that air. Now, the very difficult thing here at Talladega is if you're like the number 44, Jake Forrester, pushing the leader, and you have somebody directly behind you and directly to your outside, you can't really do anything to cool down your engine aside from just back off. And you have to hope that the driver behind you isn't directly on your back bumper either. As difficult as it sounds, it's also very much easier said than done. He backs off there, entering the corner, just so he can get a run-up, cool down his engine in the process, and give that shove to the 81 of Cornish. Hello, that was a bit too close there. He slid up for a few moments there. It's going to be moving up again. Oh, someone's off the raceway there. Is that number 2 Pickering? I feel like that was 2 Pickering. I don't see anybody else. Dropping back on the timing screen here. So Pickering may have just gotten lucky. Now what you could do, as well, if you're in the same position, someone directly to your outside, someone directly in front of you, you could peek down to the apron for a few moments. You just have to give somebody that shove first, and then move down to the apron, let off the throttle a little bit, move back up behind the driver that you're pushing. Now the person behind you knows that you're just cooling down your engine. Oh my goodness. In this camera angle, you can just see everybody's all over the race, all over their lane, trying to stand behind each other. There's 44 cooling down his engine again. There's 27 to the inside, trying to capitalize. Of course, he can't really move lower than that yellow line. Meanwhile, that top side of Pomfrey, Dalton, Blake Hood, and 54 of Mike Robertson. They've all had their fair share of fun up on the top side. Just depends on your fair share of fun. As laps are closing down, and again, Josh Wong moves to the inside. Maybe unintentionally off turn number 2, but he's definitely trying to find some type of a lane and somehow make himself a little bit more of an offense. And somehow get in front of the 44. But definitely for the time being, though, 10 laps to go. Little bit of a bobble there. He can move right here. He moved. He moved to the inside, but I knew he just couldn't make it. You can see the Pumphrey and the 36 to 28 of Matthew Dalton. They're trying their best in the middle lane. Blake Hood also to the outside. Again, it just backs off quickly, just like that, as if it had never happened. 44 moves up to the top side. No. Josh Wong may have tried to capitalize on that one, but there was just too much time. Too little time, I should say. 10 laps to go, winding down very quickly here at Talladega. We still have a chance. Oh, we're going to wait a little bit. Yeah, right there, you saw 27 just with his left tires just below the inside lane, inside line rather, the yellow line. That banking change just for those, the difference between those two sides is massive, and it'll just loop your car around. Still have a chance. We're going to tell you to turn up your volume because we're definitely going to be taking the long ride here while we still have the chance. Gotta love this. Oh, goodness. Have to love the sights and sounds of Talladega. My goodness. It's definitely the most interesting. And Stuart Pumphrey currently shown in the lead for the time being. Did he get the lap that time? Well, he got 2 laps led. It is in real time. That's good to know. But Ian Cornish, you'll see it change in a few moments on top of the screen. As laps are winding down. Pumphrey still in the lead for now. Cornish now in the lead. Looks like it's only start-finish line. Yep. Ian Cornish gets his 38th lap led. With 5 laps to go, you have to wonder when is the best time to make the move. Well, it depends. It just depends. Whoa, someone's up on the wall in the back. That wasn't Robertson. That was John Jarrett. Doug Pickering looked up to the top side for a few moments. and he had decided against it. But now he's going to take the 96 of Carl Hayes with him. No, he's not. Carl Hayes just left him out to dry. He's going to drop out. He's going to drop that number 2. That's going to leave Matthew Dalton to pick up number 2. This is really hurting their momentum. You could have either 4 drivers on the 4 drivers on the low side, 4 drivers in the middle, or just a group of, I believe it's 4 drivers of 2. Everyone's just scrambling now. Matthew Dalton to the very top side, trying to figure out where to go. Almost cuts off the 2 of Pickering. He gets forced to the inside. 3 wide for a few moments between lap cars. 3 laps to go. This is going to be an interesting finish. And yet Ian Cornish and Jake Forrester, they've just been out here just running their race. Oh no, trouble in the back. The 6 of Sergio Cabral just got turned to the inside, so far to the inside that the caution will not come out. And Cabral's just going to put it behind the wall instead. That was not for position, though, for the lead lap position, I should say. At least for the front runner positions. 2 laps to go. This time around, 4 drivers on the top side in the form of Stuart Pomfrey, Carl Hayes, Doug Pickering, and Matthew Dalton. On the inside, well, your leader for most of the race, Ian Cornish. Jake Forster right behind him. Josh Wong is somewhere in the mix, and then there's Ashley Blake Hood. There's Josh Wong. He's 3rd in line on the inside. Forster, a little bit of a wiggle. 28 to the top side. Anyone going to join him? Yes. 82 of Ashley Blake Hood. Humphrey was scored in the lead temporarily in terms of live timing. This time by, it's going to be 1 lap to go here at Talladega. Will Jake Forrester do anything, or will he help Ian Cornish or will he help push Ian Cornish to the win? Josh Wong is also a factor. Pretty much anybody here is a factor. The 82 is doing a wise thing and backing off. The only problem is if nothing happens, then that was just an unfortunate waste of backing off. They have underestimated and backed off way too far and way too much. Top side, Pomfrey 3 wide in the middle. Pickering pushing Hayes on the top side, 3 wide. Hayes to the front of the inside lane, the middle lane. They're going to be scrambling for position. Pomfrey back up to the middle lane, leader of the middle lane. Ian Cornish trying to hang on, protect that lead through the trial, but will Jake Forrester do anything? Is the main question. Moves out to the top side. No, although under the yellow line, that's not going to count. Cornish wins. In typical Talladega fashion, or some type of wreck, after the checkered flag coming towards the stripe. Cornish wins. The rest of the field will be coming through. Huge crash had happened over here. My goodness, we're going to give this a replay. This is Stephen Parks. He's going to get pushed to the... Nope, he will not. His engine is pretty much done for. Same with the 59 of John Jarrett. He'll roll across the line. Somebody's rolling backwards. I believe that's Michael Jones. They're just trying to get across the line. Stephen Parks, it's going to be Carl Edwards fashion here. Will they make it to the line? It's actually kind of suspenseful. Oh, he's right there. If Jones can just barely push him across the line, he made it. Will it count, though? Barely crossed. Same with Jones. 14th and 15th, respectively. I think it did count. We'll definitely get a replay of this and see what happened. And, yeah, like I said, typical Talladega fashion. Just a wreck across the line for positions. I think it was just trying to like squeeze down, and that just did not work out. Huge 4-car incident. 57 tumbled over. The 57 was Mark Nadeau, and he almost made it to the line. They just decided to stop. So that is how that had happened. Meanwhile, Ian Cornish doing what he loves to do, and that is just burn it down here at Talladega. Your finishing order and your top 3 will be interviewed, but your finishing order from now, Ian Cornish wins the first of 9 races. Well, that happened. Linus Broström, his way of just saying, hey, good win, while also destroying his car. Jake Forrester finishes in second. Third place, Josh Long, Stuart Pomfrey. Fourth, fifth, Matthew Dalton. Sixth, Carl Hayes, Doug Pickering, Ashley Blake Hood, Adam Wright, and Ben Summers round out your top 10. Mike Robertson, Jim Carr, John Jarrett, Stephen Parks, Michael Jones for 11th through 15th. Stuart Barnett, Linus Broström, Andy Oakley, Sergio Cabral, Mark Nadeau are 16th through 20th. Mark Redford, Simon Marshall, Chris Bourne, Reese Saunders, Patrick Orr, Ken Bracey, Dave Walsh, Doug Kinraid, Nigel DeJong, who has the worst day of pretty much everybody, unfortunately, and Mark Murphy are 21st through 30th. And your 33-car field is rounded out by Carl Jacqueline, Lane O'Connor, and Ian Bassey. Quick commercial break, and we will be interviewing your top 3 here in a few moments' time. This is the My Turn Racing Truck Series, sponsored by DraftMaster. And we'll be right back with your top 3 interviews in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back live, sorry about that, back live at the Talladega Super Speedway, where we are going to have Ian Cornish interviewed, your race winner as well, so we will get him in here in a few moments' time. Pretty sure right now, even. Ian Cornish, you have us.
Hi Gary, how you doing?
Doing great. Apologies for double on the stream here in a few moments. There we go. Aside from that, congratulations for on your win here at Talladega. First race and definitely a very, very good way to start off this season.
Yeah, definitely pleased to get a win on the first race. Got to say a big thanks to Jake though. I think I owe him one after him pushing me for pretty much all the race. I think so. I'll definitely be saying thanks to Jake in a bit.
Yeah, definitely pushed you to the race lead pretty much ever since the race started even. So that's pretty interesting. That main race start that you had was the most interesting of it all since now usually it takes everyone just a lap or two to settle in, but you just decided to settle into the lead pretty much right away.
So I just lost it there, Gary, at the end.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, you had done a pretty amazing job on that race start. As somebody trying to get that up. That's weird, but nonetheless, though, everyone usually settles in about a lap or two. You decided to settle in pretty much right away as the race had started.
Yeah, I think we just got a decent start on the outside lane there, and I know Jake's really good at gate racing and pushing in particular. So he managed to push me up to the front, and I thought as soon as Jake gets clear, we'll come down and see if we can lead some laps. And yeah, it worked out. I think if we'd have stayed up high, then we might have got caught in that first wreck, which took out a whole load of people. It's fortunate, really.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of drivers involved, and in that first wreck, I think at least 13. Just as a little bit of a guess, yeah, just enough to really change the race in a sense. But nonetheless, though, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to for your first race win here tonight?
Yeah, just I said thanks to John and the admin team for putting these races on every Sunday night. Really good fun. Been running this for quite a number of seasons now, and always have a good time. Thanks also to everyone who's donated to the league to make it possible to have these races broadcast. It just adds a whole new element to the races, and I think also is boosting the numbers. I mean, we've had 33 in this race, which is the most we've had for quite some time now. And thanks to you as well, Gary, for broadcasting this.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to put this on, and something that was quite interesting. I looked at this just as the race had started. The closest number that we've had for this field was 35, actually, in 2017 season one. Mm-hmm. So that is just two drivers short of that as well. So that's definitely gonna be interesting. Of course, before I let you go, anything that you're looking ahead for next week when we head to Darlington?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Darlington. It's a tough track. It's a real driver's track. Expecting Nigel and Reese and guys like that are going to be strong there. So I think if I can just get a top 5, yeah, I'll be happy.
Well, that definitely sounds good. We wish you congratulations and luck for next week as well. So thanks for coming to talk to us, and congratulations again on your win.
No worries. Cheers, Gary. Thanks.
That was Ian Cornish, race winner, and his Iron Maiden Toyota Tundra. I just now noticed that sponsor too. Very, very clever. So of course we are going to go ahead and, at least for now, possibly wrap up. Of course, just as a quick reminder before you all go and enjoy your pretty much whatever time of day it is for anyone, just want to let you know again that next week will be Darlington. And it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens there for 75 laps next week. And then just at the very next day, it will be the Red Light Scrambler Series starting off at Charlotte, and I believe the Cup cars as well. So before, as we head off, we'll definitely hope to see you next week at Darlington for 75 laps. And we hope you have enjoyed this week's race. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.